Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, guys. We'll be starting in around 20 minutes. Hey, what's up, Wolvie? Ted, how's it going, man? Ted says he can't stay up, though. Oh, that's unfortunate. But hey, hopefully we'll see you in the next live, Ted. How's it going, David? He says 1 inch. And Alexander's in here, too. How's it going, Alexander? Good morning, right back at you. Jiva says 23 minutes until the start. Long wait. Hey man, get comfy, grab yourself a drink. 23 minutes is going to pass by quicker than you'd think. Jeez. Oh, Wolfie's leaving too. Before you guys leave, let me know if you guys can hear me a-okay. Quick voice check. Is the music fine? Is the audio fine? Etc, etc. Awesome. Thank you for the voice check. How's it going, Jason? Good to see you in here. Today we have some interesting things to discuss. We have the lower time frames fighting up against the mid time frames, while the higher time frames are taking a seat back and watching the fun. So who's gonna win, guys? Is it gonna be the lower time frames, or is it gonna be the mid time frames? Mid time frames looking bullish, lower time frames looking like they want to see a little bit more of a pullback. Perhaps we see both on the lower time frames pull back, while the mid time frames step in and see that support towards the end of their closes. It's going to be interesting. Look at those palm trees. I'm multitasking way too much today, trying to do too many things at the same time. Alright, so here we are on the dashboard. Let's see what Cardano's saying today. Cardano down a little bit, but it is bouncing at the moment, so that's pretty good. $2 USD pairing, Bitcoin pairing sitting at 4,500 Satoshi. Great stuff. Ethereum switching neutral on the dashboard. Bitcoin neutral as well. Interesting, interesting. XRP up 56%. We're gonna start soon, guys. Let's just wait for a few more people to get in here. Julian, how's it going, Julian? I was actually waiting for you to get in here specifically. I do want to talk about a few things that you might be interested in as well, Julian, especially in regards to the bigger pullback that I'm looking for Bitcoin to eventually have. But the big question is, when are we going to have it? When are we going to have it? I think I am seeing some kind of systemic weakness in the markets that may lead to another liquidity move, right? But again, it's hard to predict the timing of those kind of moves. So what I want all of us to do is just have some sizable cash on the sidelines that we can use when the time arrives. We want to be able to take advantage of that move, because I do think that whatever pullback we do have in the markets, I'm talking about a big pullback, I'm not talking about these small pullbacks, I'm not talking about a 15%, 20%, I'm talking about a sizable pullback. I want us to be able to take advantage of it. All right, I want us to start thinking about the next bull run. I want us to start thinking about the next bear run. I want us to be thinking 2 years ahead. Let's not be like the rest of the communities in this space. Let's not think short term. Let's think long term. So we're going to be formulating that plan over the next months, right? Maybe the next weeks. We don't know when it's going to play out. So if it does play out earlier, we'll be ready. But we're going to start formulating that thesis. Let's get ready for the next big win. We've had some massive wins recently. The past year has been fantastic, but let's not get complacent now. How's it going, Noel? How's it going, Toby? Trisha's in here. While you guys are here, hit the likes, hit the subscribe. There's 45 of you in here and only 8 likes. If you guys want more of these live streams, please make sure that you do hit the like button. It's how we decide whether we want to keep doing these. One of the reasons we did stop doing this, by the way, one of the reasons Krisha made me stop doing these live streams, she made me, guys, she made me, was because we weren't getting traction on these live streams and we were putting in a lot of effort on these, right? So again, we're seeing 50 people in here, only 10 likes, tells us that 30 of you, 40 of you hate the live streams. How's it going, Bird? Good to see you in here. Bird says, morning, Sean, please, how can I get the Mango Grove 3.1? Mango Grove 3. You're talking about the Mango Dynamic 3.1 on your TradingView. The Mango Dynamic 3.1 will be released very soon, but you need to, do you have access to the Mango Dynamic specifically? You need to have access to the Mango Dynamic, and as soon as I release the new update, you'll get access to 3.1. So you can find the link in the description underneath. You should be able to find it, at least. It's available at themangoway.com/dynamic. themangoway.com/dynamic. Hey Ashok, how's it going, man? Stan is in here too. Do I think that the massive pullback will be coupled with the fall of fiat? No, I don't think so. I don't think fiat is falling anytime soon, man. Don't buy into all of those theories. The fall of fiat is going to be... I don't think fiat is going to fall. Fiat will just change its form. There's going to be a massive system reset without people realizing there is a system reset. Essentially, there was a system reset in 1973. Like, if you think about it, right? A lot changed in 1973 and nobody even realized. The world changed, right? There was a massive, massive soft default on the entire world and nobody batted an eye. No, Wolfie, don't do it, man. Don't do it. What could be more important than you staying here with us? And don't tell me that your kid is crying in the corner. because you promised me your priorities are going to stay with Mango. New baby or no new baby? Hey Garima, how's it going? Good to see you in here. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you enjoying the seed program thus far? Have you started your modules yet? Alan S, short-term bearish, next 2 months bullish, ready to buy, atta boy. Jason says yes, the gold speculators. What are you referring to, Jason? Robert! Oh my god, it's Robert! How's it going, man? Wolfie says the bus would take me to unknown places. You gotta pay attention to your stops, eh? Okay, yeah, I see what you mean by this is your stop now. So you can get off the bus and then continue watching. Alright, so I'm going to be holding the mic closer to my face like this. Do I sound better or worse? Let me know. I'm legit holding the mic. I feel like a stand-up comedian or a talk show host. Oh, right. You're referring to going off the gold standard. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. We were talking about 1973, correct? So, for example, right, a really good example is real estate. People keep saying real estate always goes up, always goes up, always goes up. You can't go wrong with real estate, and that was not true actually before 1970. In fact, if you did buy real estate around 1910, you'd have to hold your property all the way up to 1968 just to break even. Just think about that. That's like freaking 50 plus years just to break even. Just to break even. But then again, the entire there weren't that many opportunities until the 1940s, right, when essentially the government started inflating away all the debt they owned by essentially inflating away the savings of bondholders, which is essentially what's going to happen, in my belief at least, over the next decade. The 2020s to 2030s is essentially going to have a massive attack on savings. How's it going, Randy? Jason says, that's what I'm saying about fiat. It will change. I think the Fed will be audited and fiat will be replaced with value-backed currency. So essentially, the only option for that at the moment, viable option, is Bitcoin, right? If you want to be backed by something solid, the soundest of sound money is Bitcoin. And don't listen to all the Ethereum maximalists with their ultrasound narrative, bandwagoning on the Bitcoin narrative. Now, that being said, Ethereum does have its merits on a different front, and I think they can both coexist together, and I do have Ethereum myself. So long story short, don't listen to the overly bullish Bitcoin maximalists, and don't listen to the overly bullish Ethereum maximalists. There is a middle ground. I think the election audits will open the door to this type of audit. Oh man, now that's a can of worms. Dollar may rise higher today. Let's go take a look at the Mango view actually.
That feels good.
Dixie has been holding the 93 level like pretty much for 2 weeks now, guys. It's pretty much been going sideways, right? So yeah, I don't know, man. Right now, the bond market and the dollar has been doing exactly what we wanted to do for Bitcoin to essentially decide its direction. So yields are simply posturing, hey, scaring the market one way, then pretty much doing nothing again. So I kind of like what it's doing. Support the channel, hit the like. These guys are always giving us great chart analysis. Thank you, PN. Appreciate that love. We're about to start in a minute and 20 seconds. Lechumi Simachalam. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, asks, Sean, what's your take on Bitcoin's proof of work consuming intense amounts of energy? Bitcoin's proof of work does not consume intense amounts of energy at all, actually, and computing resources. Can this downside be mitigated in the future of Bitcoin? So that entire narrative of Bitcoin consuming intense amounts of energy is completely false relative to the amount of value that Bitcoin actually gives back to the world. Its footprint of electricity consumption is very, very minimal. That narrative is absolutely just overblown completely. If you do your research correctly and deeper, you will see. I really recommend actually listening to Michael Saylor's rebuttals on all of these narratives. Also read Nick Carter's work. Nick Carter has been fighting this very aggressively with his writings, and he's targeted really well. But to be honest, this narrative, Dan Held is another Bitcoiner who has another approach to fighting this narrative, and I like his approach to essentially saying that why do we even entertain this narrative? In fact, Christmas lights, the amount of electricity that Christmas lights consumes is more than Bitcoin. Like, it's ridiculous to pinpoint Bitcoin alone and say, hey, this thing is consuming so much electricity. Our phones, our computers, our gaming computers, etc., all consume so much electricity, but for some reason Bitcoin is being attacked, right? Even though Bitcoin is literally, if you consider what Bitcoin is doing for the world, doing for all of the non-Western countries, all the non-developed countries, giving all of these citizens of these corrupt governments an opportunity to save money without getting completely inflated away, without their money being stolen from them through the technology of fiat. The amount of value Bitcoin is giving people, and you compare that to the cost of its electricity, right? It's so trivial, that electricity, right? And the electricity, people think that another false narrative is that the Bitcoin's electricity consumption scales with its transactions. No, it does not. That electricity consumption is directly related to securing the network. Now you compare that to the amount of security needed, okay, the amount of security needed to secure the current financial system, which is essentially your freaking armies, right? The world's armies all together is the security needed to protect the current financial system, or you consider gold for that matter, right? The amount of security you need to protect an entire freaking building of gold, the amount of like guns and gunmen you need. Man, it's such a overblown narrative. Oh god, I'm not gonna start on that. But people don't want to do their research. They listen to CNBC, they'll do like 2 or 3 minutes worth of readings on headlines, and boom, it's over. By the way, guys, I used to be a Bitcoin naysayer myself, but I did my research and I flipped. Momo says go on, Sean. You guys don't want me to go on. You guys do not want me to go on. Oh man, we're supposed to be starting in 1 second, guys. My trading view's lagging. Alright guys, we're gonna be starting now in 2, 3, 1. Actually, give me 5 more seconds. Alright, let's do it. Good morning, guys. My name is Sean Dexter, and I welcome you back to your daily, sporadic Mango live stream, where we talk about everything, anything, and complete nonsense. Nothing on this stream is financial advice. In fact, if you listen to anything we say, you follow anything we do, you are likely going to lose all your money. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started with Bitcoin. We will be talking about Bitcoin today, and mostly Bitcoin and Cardano as well. well. I will be giving guys an update on my Cardano trade. Let me know if the music's too loud. Is the music too loud? Okay, I'm gonna adjust it a tad bit. Let me know if I adjusted it too much. But we will be focusing on only 2 coins today, because I do not want to be talking about too many shit coins today. So Bitcoin it is. I do want to give you guys an update on Cardano. I got back into my Cardano trade, or rather I re-added into my position. If you guys do remember from a couple of days ago, I did let you guys know that I was taking profits on my Cardano trade, but I am attempting to hunt for a trend continuation at this current level. There will be an invalidation point I will be discussing too. But let's go ahead and start with Bitcoin. Not much has changed. I haven't done any changes to my Bitcoin trade, right? So Cardano trade and Bitcoin trade, I've made changes to my Cardano trade. I've been trading that a little bit more actively. Bitcoin, not so much. We're going to be starting off with the Ichimoku today on Cardano. All right, so I'm just taking a quick look at the chat just to make sure that you guys can hear me. Okay, cool, you guys can hear me. So you guys can see from the picture over here, right, that Bitcoin is actually doing fantastic. It's literally running. In fact, we can go ahead and do this on the dashboard. We should. Let me switch. So the reason I want to do this on the dashboard is to essentially showcase to you guys that if you guys don't have the premium version of TradingView, right? Because TradingView makes you pay for the 4-day time frame, the 2-day time frame, and I believe the 12-hour time frame. And these are time frames that Mango uses a lot. Coincidentally, well, not coincidentally, intentionally, Mango allows you guys to access the 4-day, the weekly, and the 2-day time frame on the Mango view for free, completely for free. And conveniently as well, you guys can turn on your Ichimoku levels that we use a lot. So we're currently interested in the 4-day time frame. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to the 4-day. And right over here, you can see that, hey, we have access to the 4-day time frame completely for free for all of you guys. So go ahead. Mango View is available at app.mangoresearch.co. Simply click on the sidebar here. This is a new feature for all of you Mango dashboard users. So yeah, on the right hand side over here, click your Ichimoku and you will get your Tenkin and your Kijun showing. And we can see very clearly over here that Bitcoin has been holding the Kijun perfectly. We tested that Tenkin. If you guys do remember, leading into the break of the Kijun, we were following the Tenkin, right? And over here at Mango, when did we decide to start adding into our trend trade? On the Tenkin. These Tenkin buys were where we were getting aggressive on our buys while everyone else was getting bearish, looking for that further downside. But now over here, we kept it very, very straight in that we didn't let our emotions or the market emotions get to us. We just followed the plan, followed the TA, and we didn't say, hey, we know for sure what's going to happen, but this is the strategy, we're just going to follow it, right? That's all we do over here at Mango. And it paid off. Now, look what's happening. The Kijun is being held. First, it was the Tenkin. Recame the Kijun on this August 5th candle. And now, ever since we closed over it, held it. And at the moment, we're holding it some more. If we lose it, then we have a trade towards the downside, and this is actually lining up with what's going on the shorter time frames as well. All right, so we do have a C-span trade, okay, from the Kijun to the Tenkin. But is it that clear? No, because turn on your cloud and you're going to see that we do have support underneath the Kijun as well. So I'll be looking for the 4-day to lose the Kijun as well as the cloud to look for that C-span trade all the way down to 38,000, guys. And even then, I'll be looking for the 4-day to close a little bit higher than that. Why? Because of the monthly support that we are talking about at around $40,000. Okay, so keep all those levels in mind. Watch yesterday's video, watch yesterday's live stream, and I want you guys to put all the pieces of the puzzle together. Okay, so with that, any questions on the 4-day time frame? Let me go quickly on over to the chat to make sure that everything is a-okay. Birdman asks, oh, no, that's fine. Okay, cool. So the chat is a bit delayed, so I'll just have to wait for your responses before I continue. Apologies for that. Okay, so cool. Now we have our Kijun showing, we have a Tenkin showing, we have the top of the cloud showing. I am interested in seeing where the 21 EMA is showing for the 4-day time frame. For that, all you guys need to do is go ahead and click on your EMAs on the Mango dashboard right over here. So your 21 EMA and your 55 EMA will show as well, and you can see that we have a cluster of support in the zone over here, 40,000 all the way down to 38,000. And what do you know, that $40,000 level on the 4-day time frame is lining up with our monthly support zone as well, right? So we're seeing all of that confluence come in over there, but that's provided that we lose that Kijun and top of the cloud level, right? So I'm really liking that level as a opportunity to add to my trend trade. Remember, we already added around the zone over here around the 38k on the way up. Will we get an opportunity to add at 40,000? We'll find out. But you guys are seeing now, Jason, if you're here, you asked a question yesterday at the end of the stream, right? You asked, how do you build your trend trade position? Well, this is how I do it. Even though I got in a position at 38,000, right? And now we're seeing a move all the way up to around 46,000, 47,000. Well, if the pullback happens, instead of getting scared out of your trade, you look to use that to build your position. Because remember, your position is based off the monthly time frame. You need to get invalidated on the weeklies. Perhaps the lowest time frame you can look at is the 4-day before you get out of your monthly time frame position, right? But with that being said, your monthly time frame position is going to keep you having a lower size initially. But now as the trade goes in your favor, you can add to that size. So over here, I'll be looking to add to my size. Okay, so that's the 4-day 21 EMA coming in at around $40,000. If you do come down there, I'll be looking for that to get picked up. Somewhere around $38,000 is a possibility. Of course, we talked about that, the C-SPAN trade, but I'll be looking for that 4-day 21 EMA to hold. If we do not hold that 4-day 21 EMA, I am not going to like it. So I want to see that 4-day 21 EMA hold really well, and then I'll be looking for the top of the cloud one more time if we actually lose these Kijun levels here. So now what I'm going to do, guys, with that clear, right, I want to go ahead and see, do we have confluence on our support and resistance levels over here? So I'm going to turn off the 21 EMA and the 55 EMA. I'm going to turn off the Ichimoku levels as well. Should I turn off the cloud? Yeah, let's go ahead and turn off the cloud temporarily. And what I want to look at now is the 4-day SNR. Okay. Ooh, and what do you know? The 4-day SNR coming in at around 40,000, as well as what level is that? 38,000. Nice. Okay, so this feature over here, guys, the 4-day SNR is essentially the dashboard drawing in automatically, algorithmically for you guys, the support and resistance levels that you guys need to keep an eye on. So overhead, we do have resistance at around 52,000. Underneath, we do have support at around 40,000 to 38,000. The dashboard is saying that, hey, we cleared that support already. Now overhead resistance is at 52,000. So do we make our way up there first, or do we find resistance midway, find another retest of the support, and then make our way up there? We have to find out, right? As a trend trader, we don't know. We'll just play it. As a support and resistance trader, you have to make a decision as to whether we're going to find some resistance on the midpoint or not. Does that make sense? Okay, but either way, the 4-day SNR levels are lining up, confluencing perfectly with our analysis of those Ichimoku and 21 EMA and 55 EMA levels. In fact, you can go ahead and turn on those EMA levels and look at that. Look how beautiful that is at the moment. The 21 EMA perfectly lining up with our support levels, right? And remember, this wasn't the case a few 4-day candles ago. And the 55 EMA perfectly lining up with the bottom of that support zone. Beautiful. I'm loving that. By the way, guys, to all of you premium users of the dashboard, we have a new feature over here. I'm going to be using it live for you guys for the first time. The daily SNR levels are available as well, and oof, those are nice. We're seeing confluence between the daily SNR and the 4-day SNR right over there. You guys can see that, right? So the 4-day SNR levels are kind of goldenish. Let me confirm that you guys can hear me. I don't want to go on and on. Can you guys hear me? Confirm that everything's okay. For those of you new here and wondering why does this guy keep stopping, it's because there have been far too many times I've gone on a massive rant only to find out that no one can hear me. perfectly. Okay, cool. So you guys can hear me. That's brilliant. So yeah, the daily SNR levels are lining up with the 4-day SNR levels. The 4-day SNR levels are shown with like a goldenish mango golden white, while the daily SNRs are like a lighter gray. Let us know if you like this color scheme. We spent a lot of time going back and forth on the color scheme that we picked, but we wanted to keep it as mango as possible, and I really like how we are able to show so much information while keeping the charts relatively neat. So what do you guys think of this? Jason has a good question. He says, okay, so when you are adding, do you add according to the spreadsheet? Would it be like another 2 or 3% of your account size? So yeah, that's actually a really good question, Jason. So for those of you who are wondering what Jason is referring to, he's essentially talking about the Mango risk management spreadsheet and the Mango risk management indicator that we provide to the seedlings, the Mango seedlings, right? So it's an entire risk management strategy that he's referring to. And in the risk management strategy, we use the indicator along with the tool sheet to come up with our position sizing, etc. So yes, Jason, essentially what I do is there one of two things I do depending on how aggressive I want to be with my trade. So the first trade will be 2%. The next trade can, so let's say to keep it simple, okay, if I'm trading it on the monthly time frame, right, using like the weekly Mango risk management indicator, right? If I use the weekly risk management indicator, my thesis being on the monthly time frame, and I put in a 3% trade on my first ad, a 2% trade on my second ad, and then a 1% trade on my third ad, right? All this while, the trade needs to go in my favor. Essentially, each ad needs to be a higher low. Get it? So I'm getting de-risked each time. Does that make sense? AJ Small says, I feel like the color should be just black and white. White is actually a bit too loud, man, on the dashboard. We tried white, and black, just you can't see anything on black. How's it going across Canada? Good morning, right back at you. He says, we are going down. When did you turn into such a bear, man? You were so bullish on Ethereum. It's interesting. Dude. Okay, so for those of you, by the way, I have a question for you. Okay, I have a question for you. For those of you who have been following Mango diligently, at least for the past like year now, you gotta admit, technical analysis can be so freaking beautiful, eh? When it all just lines up and it all plays out. Sometimes, of course, we're not going to catch the trades, right? We're going to see it in hindsight and be like, damn. But you guys got to see them. Sometimes it's just magical, man. And that's what keeps us in this game, because when you nail these magical moves, when it all just like clicks, it's just so fulfilling. It's like solving a puzzle. And I think that's what keeps us addicted, right? Why do we keep doing this? Some of us don't need to do this anymore. But why do we keep doing this? Because it's like playing Sudoku, like solving those hard Sudoku puzzles every morning. That's what this is. That's what I'm realizing. And the better you get, the more fulfilling it is. It's just, Rodrigo, how's it going, man? Every time I see you, Rodrigo, I think about Tries. Tries having a pullback today. How are you liking that? We will be covering Cardano very, very soon, Ole Kram. Rajesh Kandapal says, hash indicators have given the buy signal. Good to know. He says it's going to pump huge till end of year. Not so sure about that, but we'll find out. I hope it's true. We're going to play it either way, one way or the other. We will be in the move. Doesn't matter, man. Pump up, pump down. Mango will be there. you do not add to your position on a lower low, Jason, right? Like, you do not want to add to your position if it's not going in your direction. If the trade is going in my direction, I will add and I will add and I will add, of course, to a limit. Maximum you want to add is around 4 positions, right? You do not want to go further than that. Now, those are my rules. You could maybe have 5 positions if you're adding less on each time, right? So when it comes to altcoins, I tend to get a lot more aggressive on my ads. I'll go 1 2 3 4 each time, going 2% sometimes as well, but I'm also out a lot quicker out of my trades. Exactly, man. Old man says, it's amazing, I'm not all the way there yet, but improving. It takes time, man. You got to put time into the market, time on the charts, and time on your mindset. I had to spend a lot of time just on mindset, a lot of freaking time. But hey, that's where the seedling chat really helps, right? What you guys are doing in the Mango Sprouts chat, with all of you guys gathering in the Seed Clubhouse with those daily morning conversations, man, that is so good. You guys are essentially fulfilling the dream I had for Mango. I wanted exactly this when I was beginning. I did not have it. I did not have a community like this when I was starting out, right? Like, thank God I had Krisha. Krisha and I had each other, and we thought, we used to discuss, you know, we used to say, it must really suck to do this alone, because we used to go through such like bad episodes, right, where things like such bad trades that I would just mess up, and if I didn't have Krisha and Krisha didn't have me, it would be so lonely and you'd give up. So we wanted to give you guys a semblance of that, but more. And now, man, the community's become so much more. So yeah. Julian says mindset seems to be at least half the battle. Yep. So Julian, by the way, like, if you think about it, right, I gave you guys the trade on a platter, so to speak. Let's go back on over to Bitcoin now. Now we can talk about the mid time frames. Switching on over to the chart. I hope you guys understand my view on the 4-day time frame at the moment. Just to quickly reiterate as well, the 4-day is still above the dynamic levels, so I'm liking that as well. 4-day is still above the monthly dynamic levels as well. So higher time frames are looking really good, okay? But it's the lower time frames that are battling with the mid time frames. So let's start with the lower time frames specifically. I gave you guys this trade, right? I talked to you guys about this one. The 6-hour dynamic level holding for so long, and it was thinning out, essentially saying that, hey, when we do break, we're going to find a volatile move. We closed underneath, we retested it, and we saw that drive down. But here's the thing, it's battling with the mid time frame, the daily time frame, because it found support on the daily time frame. So yes, the 6-hour time frame broke down, but the daily time frame stepped in and held it up, right? This is an example of something I talk to you guys about all the time. The lower time frames may break down or break up, but the higher time frames may step in and it will hold its trend if it is supposed to, right? If the market wants it to. And that's what we're seeing over here. 6-hour trend broke down, daily trend said, nope, I have more, right? So now if the 6-hour is to continue, the daily needs to break, and if the daily breaks, I'll be looking for the bottom of the dynamic cloud to be hit. Coming in at what level, guys? 41,000. 41,000 lines up with what? Well, let's go on over to the freaking dashboard right over here, right? And the 41,000 lines up with exactly our 4-day 21 EMA, our 4-day Tenkin Kijun levels, as well as the 55 EMA zone, right? All over there. So we're going to see the 4-day Kijun break, the daily dynamic also see its follow through to the bottom of the cloud, as well as the 6-hour see its continuation. Confluence, boom, bam, thank you, ma'am. How's it going, Krisha? Krisha just peeked her head in and left. All right, back on over to the charts. How are you guys liking the transitions? All right, so if you guys are liking the content thus far, please go ahead, hit the like, hit the subscribe. It really helps, and lets us know, lets Krisha know that these live streams are being valued, and she'll give me the thumbs up on continuing these live streams for the foreseeable future, because she put the brakes on these live streams a couple of months ago, saying, Sean, these live streams, they aren't working out, man, they aren't working out. Bob Hassan is in here. How's it going, Bob? You made it to today's stream. Good to see you. Good to see you. He says, I'm driving, so I can't chat. Do not text and drive, man. He says, I can't chat, but I made it and I'm listening. That's awesome, man. Good to have you in here, Bob. Good to have you in here. Old man says, thank you to Sean and Krisha for planting the seed in integration. Randy says, Clubhouse has been great. Big shout out to AJ. In fact, AJ is in here. How's it going, AJ? AJ says, has been pretty cool talking to you guys in the seed Clubhouse. We need to do it more. AJ essentially led that initiative. Samson led the initiative on Mango Sprouts. It's happening, guys. The freaking community is leading the way, and that was my dream. It's why Mango was named Mango and it was not named Sean's Bitcoin, Ethereum, crypto house or whatever, because we wanted it to be about the community, and the community is going to be leading the way in the future while I'm on the beach reading books and sipping on, what's my favorite drink? I don't even know. Sipping on something. Well, it didn't play out. I don't think it played out, at least. AJ, did it? Let's go and take a look. No, there's no divergence. So if the only way the divergence would have played out, AJ, was if we held the level. There was no way otherwise, right? So we were looking for a bounce play if the 6 hour was looking to hold that level. Get it? Yeah, I was going to say margaritas, Rodrigo, but it's so cliche. There's a particular drink that we found recently. I posted Krisha and I posted pictures of it when we were on the beach last. It was this really strong mango alcoholic drink, and I'm forgetting the name. It's driving me nuts right now, but holy, it was so good. And I'm usually, oh man, yeah. Randy, you gotta have a display picture for your YouTube ID, because it's hard to. I keep missing your messages. For some reason, AJ stands out. It's probably because I get mod rights. I'm not sure. Thomas Anderson donated. I was going to say thank you for the subscribe. He says, I love you guys. Your positivity and enthusiasm without adding hopium is amazing. Hey man, Thomas, that I really appreciate that. Usually people donate the super chat thingy. I'm not sure if that's what it's called, but and they're like, hey, could you do an analysis on this coin, that coin, that coin, this coin, this coin, that coin, that coin, that coin. Here's your $2. Thank you for that. But I appreciate this. Oh, I mean the drinks on the beach, says Randy. Don't rub that in. Hey man, you'll have your time on the beach very soon, provided lockdowns are lifted, of course, in your area. Props for the Clubhouse. Yeah, I was really hoping that kicked off, man. I'm glad you guys are doing great with it. Dude, seed is coming along so well. So in the seed chat, Wolvie says, get liquidity, but I wonder if the market will really take. Okay. So Wolvie asks a question in the seed chat that I'll answer over here. He says, if we get another liquidity event like Sean D mentioned in the live stream, I wonder if the market could really take it, or would we be heading right into a bear market for real at that point? I think the market will be fine in that we will see a bounce. Like, I think it's going to be a massive move, right? That could last a little bit longer, but I think we'll bounce. And yeah, because it depends on. I think the next one after that we may actually go into a bear market, and the reason for that is because at the moment, right, the best analogy is thinking about the fire trucks out on the streets, right? The fire trucks aren't parked, right? And the fire trucks out on the streets just waiting with their gallons and gallons and gallons of water ready to take out the fires. So the Fed will pump in more liquidity into the markets as soon as the liquidity is needed. Statutory warming. Yes, that's the name of the drink. Statutory warming. Krisha came in for the rescue. Brilliant. Thank you, Krisha. Mango colada. That would have been a nice name. But no, it was yeah. What are your thoughts about the inverse relationship between the dollar value and Bitcoin price? Well, it's sort of intuitive, right? So what do you need to understand, Oli Kram? Let me go to the charts here. Let's clear out. When you're looking at any asset and you're pricing any asset, you're pricing it against another asset, right? So over here, what we're doing is we're pricing it against USD. Okay, we're pricing Bitcoin against USD, but the inverse of this is simply USD going up, right? So we could go ahead and just do this, right? So if USD gets stronger, well, Bitcoin against USD has to go down, right? It's just relative value. So literally, when we're looking at Bitcoin, we're looking at it relative to USD. So if USD is going up, well, relative to USD, Bitcoin is going to go down. For USD to keep going up and Bitcoin also go up, it means that Bitcoin is being valued relatively to USD even stronger. So against other assets in the world, right, Bitcoin is outperforming. So when USD goes up against every other asset, so particularly the Dixie, right, the best way to look at the relative value of the USD is looking at the Dixie. That's what it's measuring relative to all other currencies. So if the Dixie is going up and Bitcoin is going up, then you're like, oh man, what's going on over here? Okay, because what you're essentially seeing at that point is the relative devaluation of all other currencies against USD. So USD is essentially saying, hey, I'm the strongest currency in the globe. So all other currencies are getting devalued, they're getting debased because the governments are printing. Recently, we've seen the EU print a lot, right? Catching up to the amount of printing that America did over the past year. And that's why we have this big rally over here. However, if we start seeing all these other countries debase their currencies relative to USD and Bitcoin still goes up, that is actually a strong sign. I hope that answers your question. But understand that your question specifically, when you say what is the inverse relationship, well, it's always inversely correlated because Bitcoin going up means that it's outperforming USD. USD going up means that Bitcoin's going to take a hit. Well, yes, because if you are, so he says, other analysts say that the dollar is going up, so BTC will go down for a while. It's essentially, when you are saying Bitcoin is going up, it's essentially you are saying that Bitcoin is going up against the dollar. When you're saying dollar is going up, it means that Bitcoin needs to outperform Bitcoin that much more. And Bitcoin goes sideways, the Bitcoin will underperform. It's intuitive. I wonder if the Federal Reserve staff and central bankers around the world are aware that they are financial criminals and feel guilty about it. I'm guessing not. Tan Swai coming in with the strong statements. The human mind is amazing at rationalizing their actions. A lot of what's happening right now is the buck being passed on to the next generation of policy leaders, coming in all the way from, I believe, 1912, right? That's when the Federal Reserve was created. on Jekyll Island. They had a big meeting after the fall of the great JP Morgan. They realized that they needed something like Morgan, right? JP, the big Jupiter, to backstop a financial crisis in a event of a liquidity crisis, essentially, when you need liquidity. So they created the Fed all the way back then, and then it morphed into uglier and uglier institution, so to speak. And now at this point, it's all damage control. So Jay Powell, like, his hands are tied. Like, if you put in any other policy leader, there's very little they can do. The only way out over here, man, is to actually have a complete reset, to have a brand new system, because at this point it's literally damage control. Like, you wouldn't be able to do anything different yourself. You'd have to do this. Ole Kram says, thank God for Bitcoin to give hope to so many around the world in financially unstable economies. Oh man, well said, man, well said. In fact, if you understand Bitcoin as deeply as I do, and there's a lot more to understand on Bitcoin than you and I do, far more, you begin to realize that, man, we are so lucky for the advent of Bitcoin. We are extremely lucky. Tansuan says, nice point. I see you've read The Creature from Jekyll Island. Yeah, I've read the book. But Jekyll Island is referenced in many financial history books. Lords of Finance, stock market history, 100 years of stock market crashes. I think there's another book called This Time is Different. I'm thinking of books where this is referred to, actually. Death of the Banker. Yeah, Death of the Banker. Yeah, that's another one. I really like that book too. Short book, but to the point. The Ascent of Money. Pretty sure it was referenced in Ascent of Money. I'd be surprised if it wasn't referenced in. I have a really bad memory. One of my biggest weaknesses is my memory. If I had a good memory, I think I'd be unstoppable. All right, so with that break, we can move on to Cardano. Do you guys want to move on to Cardano? Is there more that we need to cover? So essentially, let's go ahead and not wrap up, but summarize what we discussed with Bitcoin. We're looking at a battle now between the mid time frames and the low time frames. The low time frames look like they want to roll over, right? We are seeing even the 4 hour look very, very, very toppy over here, breaking down, retesting. The 6 hour is a big one for me over here. 6 hour holding this entire trend all the way from around here, right? Kept holding, broke down, retested. Do we see continuation? Well, I'd be looking for that, but we do have daily coming in for the save on the daily dynamic right over here. Perfect support. So if we do lose this, then we can look for that continuation. That being said, the 4-day is also pressing on the dynamic as well as the Ichimoku levels right over here. And going back on over to the dashboard, we can also see that we do have a lot of support coming in on that zone right over there. Daily levels, Kijun on the 4-day. And if we do lose all of those levels, well, it is pointing back down all the way to this zone over here on the dashboard that you guys can just click on to find out, right? And yeah, a lot of support coming in at the around the 39,000 to 40,000 zone. That's where I'm looking to be a buyer. Remember guys, our primary reason for our thesis has been the monthly. So going back on over to the charts, I want to switch on over to the monthly time frame really quickly and highlight you guys that we do have monthly support coming in at these levels over here. 41,000. We have the monthly open, or rather the monthly close, as well as the monthly high of June coming in around that 41,000 level, lining up with all those levels on the 4-day time frame and the daily levels as well. So a lot of confluence. I'll be looking to be a buyer around there. I'll try to be a little bit greedy for the $38,000 level, but who knows. All right, so now to Cardano. But any questions before we oh yeah, another quick thing on the monthly levels. Dynamic support is looking good too. But any questions on Bitcoin before we move on to Cardano? I lost my cursor. This is why I don't like two screens. Okay, there you are. Mackenzie Allen, you're an old schooler, eh? How's it going, man? Jason says, hey Sean, I'm gonna hit the hay pretty soon. Any chance you can navigate over to ADA real quick? Yeah, we'll be beginning with Cardano soon. Considering everyone is so bullish on cryptos and the future of the ecosystem is inevitable, isn't the long-term hodl just make sense? On Bitcoin, definitely. On other coins, I'm not so sure. I'm not saying they aren't good long-term hodls. I just don't know enough of them to comment. Does that make sense? Alton Faltoy says, I like the videos, but what happened to the regular videos? I'm on my lunch time, and I usually like your videos because they're straight to the point. We're doing the live streams now more so to do something different, and also just to have a little bit more engagement time with you guys, particularly me. I just wanted to do something a little bit more different. And give Krisha a break too, you know? Why not? I did share the list, man, on Discord. Yeah, hit the like button, guys. There's 100 of you here and only 60 likes. What's going on? Okay, let's go ahead and start with Cardano very soon. But again, any questions on Bitcoin? Will Bitcoin still go up? Did you listen to the video at all? Alright, Julian. Catch you later, man. Thank you for joining. Do I expect 90% plus pullback at the end of the bull run like in the previous cycles? If so, how much of one's portfolio should be sold to maximize risk reward if it keeps rising? I can't answer the second part of the question for you, man. That's gonna be on you. But do I expect a 9% pullback? We could have a 9% pullback. Yeah, definitely we could. If things play out the way I think they will, I'm expecting at least an 80% pullback on Bitcoin. I don't think Bitcoin is going to be immune to that. In fact, it'll be, I think I'm expecting the entire markets like globally to take a massive hit, massive liquidity hit. And I think that's going to be the big opportunity for a big Bitcoin buy. So I'm more concerned about being able to buy that dip when the time comes. And hey, who knows? I could be completely wrong, and it may never show up, right? So I did buy Bitcoin. I did buy some Bitcoin. Okay. Now, keep in mind that I completely differentiate between my trend trades, which are being traded on leverage, versus my long-term spot buys, which I buy for like 4 years from now to 10 years from now. So recently on this Monday close, when we opened up, or rather 4 hours before the open of the Monday, I deliberately bought Bitcoin, okay, knowing full well that we may pull back, we may not pull back, who knows, I don't know, right? But based on my rules, I said I am buying Bitcoin. If so and so happens by Monday, and those conditions were put in place, so I bought Bitcoin for 4 years down the road, right? 8 years down the road. So that's completely different from your trend trading. But I may have not answered your question. I got a little bit off on a tangent over there. So you were asking, do you expect 9% pullbacks? Yeah. So yeah. So essentially, even though I'm expecting a pullback, right, eventually, I don't know at what point that pullback is going to come, right? So and not 9%, I'm expecting it around like 75% to 80%. It may be 90. It may wick down to 90. Who knows, right? But it may come at a point where even if we do pull back 80%, that 80% may lead only to Bitcoin coming down to 60,000, right? So for example, if Bitcoin goes all the way up to $300,000 and pulls back 80%, well, that's going to pull back Bitcoin around $240,000. Well, you're going to have a $60,000 price target, right? So even if we go, if we go up to $300,000 and then pull back 80%, we are only coming down to 60,000. So we're still going to be higher than this price. Think about things like that. You got to think ahead that way. Alright guys, so now we're going to start with Cardano. Cardano, really simple. I'm just going to take a sip of my drink. We'll start with a quick recap on the trade. Essentially, we were taking a trade based off the weekly levels on the Bitcoin pairing as well as the USD pairing. And when I say Bitcoin pairing, I'm referring to the Cardano BTC pairing, right? You can see both of them over here on my ticker list. Cardano essentially coming down to that dollar level was essentially the easiest buy over and over again throughout this entire freaking year, right? Ever since we opened up 2021, we were that dollar region was a buy. Each time we've come down there, it was this flat out buy. On the Bitcoin pairing too, we did have a really nice buy opportunity on the dynamic right over here on the bottom. Again, same trade that we've been taking for a while over here, and over here too, right? It was always a nice bounce play every time. I don't think we took this one over here though, even though it was a good play. I don't think I took this one. Did I? I'm forgetting which. Yeah, June. Not sure I did. Either way, we had the big bounce over here. However, if you guys do remember, a couple of days ago, or rather was it yesterday, I did say that I did take profits on my Cardano trade. Why? Because we were essentially coming down onto resistance, or rather coming up to resistance on both pairings, on the Bitcoin pairing as well as the USD pairing, and you can see that over here as well. We were very close to resistance on the weekly pairing. On the daily, we were pretty much at resistance, I do believe. No, pretty close. But when I'm trading it on the base of the Bitcoin pairing, and when I'm seeing us come very close to resistance on the USD pairing, it's good enough for me to take profits. It doesn't need to be exact. But then I specifically mentioned I'm looking for the next trend entry, right? Essentially looking to add back to my position, and we got that, right? We can clear off the dynamic if you want to, and we had this horizontal marked off on the USD pairing as well as the Bitcoin pairing. In fact, this is a bit off-centered. Let's go ahead and adjust it right over there, and we can actually mark out the wicks too if you want. So if you guys don't have access to the dynamic, you can simply use your basic support and resistance levels too to come up with the same regions. But on the dynamic too, we are seeing support on, I believe there was lower time frame support on the Bitcoin pairing, but on the USD pairing we came in and touched it right over there. On the Bitcoin pairing, I think it's on the 12-hour, one of the time frames I did find support. I think it's 6-hour and the 12-hour. Yeah, I believe the 6-hour and the 12-hour. Yeah, the 12-hour time frame and the 6-hour time frame. I've been looking at these a lot recently, and they have been holding up really well. That being said, we are up against resistance on the 4-hour time frame, and I'm looking to see whether or not we hold this as a lower high right over here. This is what I'm really keen on. Do we put in a lower high over here, or do we roll over and break down? Okay, if we do break down and we lose that daily USD level especially, right, let's go back to the daily USD level. At that point I'll be looking for a continuation towards the downside, and I will be repositioning that portion of my trade that I just added. Okay, does that make sense? The best way to be looking at it is, of course, on the USD pairing for you guys, because you guys are trading the USD pairing, but using a conjunction of both is immensely helpful. Personally, what I'll be doing, if we do lose that Bitcoin support level right over here on the Bitcoin pairing, if we do lose this level, even on the 12-hour time frame, I'll be looking for the continuation down to around this zone over here, perhaps reposition on the top of the dynamic on the daily time frame. So Cardano, what's the trade that we're looking for? We're hunting for a high low over here. We added on our position way underneath, right? So we got the big up thrust, but the question now is, do we see continuation on this re-add? Because we took profits over here. Okay, so this is another way for you guys to build your position, for those of you who are interested in this kind of trading. Okay, we took profits in this zone over here, but then we're looking to re-add on a higher low over here, but we don't know if it's going to be correct or not. We may come down and test deeper, so then I'll be looking to reposition that as soon as I get invalidated. If I do get invalidated, I'll be exiting that and re-adding on the next higher low. I'm not sure where that's going to be on the USD pairing, but I know where I'll be adding on the Bitcoin pairing. And the Bitcoin pairing is really simple. I'll be looking to buy the dynamic test. Does it make sense? I'm just reading the chat real quick. But if we do get that higher low level, essentially we do put in a higher low over here, I'll essentially be looking for a test back towards the $2.30 region. If we do break that, well, that's when it gets really interesting. I'll be looking for around $3. But again, we're still hunting for the higher low. It's too early to say. It's only if we get that higher low confirmed over here by taking out these highs that I'll get really excited. at the moment, I do want to play a little bit more defensive on this, and I won't be keeping an eye on these levels, because if we do lose these levels, it is essentially a, hey, cut the trade and look for the next opportunity. Exactly, Kiran. Exactly. There's no reason to time the top or time the bottom. There's no reason to try to get that whatsoever. It's easier to just get the meat of the trade, right? Always easier to get the meat of the trade. No reason to get the tops or bottoms. People think that they can outsmart the market, and in an attempt to outsmart the market, they outsmart their accounts. Johnson says ADA is losing the 1 hour. Don't pay too much attention to the lower time frames, man. Watch the daily, etc. It's been easier. The 12 hours the lowest you should go, but you could watch the lower time frames, but use them more as a way to get ready for the higher time frames to roll over. The 1 hour is putting in a lower high. It looks like not really. Started an uptrend actually. But testing the structure over here, like the structure is what's more important. Could draw on a trend line like this, but you guys know how I feel about these trend lines. Tan says, Kevin, corrections always come, but no one knows when exactly it will come. Exactly. Well said, Tan. I missed Kevin's comment. I don't see him in here. Oh, there we go. We're gonna have a correction soon. Sorry, lost the beginning. Yeah, you can watch the live streams later. You can rewind too. Oh, Clubhouse ID. We don't use the Clubhouse on the app. We have Clubhouse on our Discord. And it's only in the seedling chat. It's only for the seeds. Because I can monitor, or rather, I don't want to use the word monitor. I can trust the seedlings to conduct themselves appropriately. Well, watch the high time frames, Randy. This is it. The weekly and the daily, right? You're supposed to be taking your trades off the weekly, but you can essentially get a bias of the daily time frames. Swag says horizontal gang. Randy's like, what? You want us? I'm always watching, man. I'm always watching. Hey Randy, you changed your display pic. That's awesome. Thank you for that, by the way. Tan says, Sean, we know ADA has performed amazingly compared to other altcoins. Based on your experience in such a scenario, do you have a macro prediction or hypothesis for Cardano? Generally what tends to happen is the coins that are performing well continue to perform well, while the rest of the naive market participants try to catch coins that haven't run yet, right? They essentially try to say, hey, so-and-so coin hasn't moved yet, I'm going to try to buy the bottom of so-and-so coin. But you're just better off, usually just better off getting into a coin that has been doing well, because it's likely to continue doing well, right? So for example, Cardano started running at around let's start the beginning of the market, right? You could have got in around the time we got in to Ethereum, and you would have gotten around 8 or 9 cents, but we didn't get in over there. We got in only at around 24 to 25 cents, right? Somewhere around here, I believe, on this breakout. If you guys do remember, no, it wasn't even here. It was somewhere here, so a little higher, right? So we got in somewhere around here, right? And if we were being a little bit stubborn, and we tried to chase other coins that hadn't moved yet, we would have still been in those coins that still didn't move, right? Like Chainlink, etc. Even though they did so well in the previous bull markets, they weren't moving, right? So for us to be stubborn and not get into Cardano because of the negative narratives on Cardano and Ripple, etc., would have been stupid. No, we saw a great looking chart and we got in. So a coin that is looking good, that is doing well, is likely to continue doing well, right? So when you see something doing well, especially when it's doing well in a bear market, right, when it's holding well relatively to the other coins, you just buy strength. It's one of the easiest things you can do in trading, is to find strength and buy strength, period. No, I do not acquire anything long-term, or like for like when you say long-term, I'm referring to years. I'm not acquiring any Cardano. I do not know anything about Cardano, man. Can't buy it like that. I'm not saying it's a bad purchase, I just don't know anything about it. Sushi Swap did really well. Yeah, it did well in SMN says, yeah. So let's go ahead and take a look at Sushi. What's it been up to recently? Yeah, but you see, during this entire phase, Sushi did not do as well as Cardano did. Now, I'm not saying Sushi won't do well moving forward, but it did do so well during this entire run, right? Which is why we were interested in it. A lot of Mango seedlings traded Sushi and trade Sushi really well and made a killing on it. I didn't make as much on Sushi as some of them, but this was one of them, right? So for example, in the previous runs, we caught Band, even though I don't know anything about Band, but it was doing well, so we caught the entire run. VeChain, I have no biases against coins I'm going to trade. As long as the chart looks beautiful and easy to trade, you buy the strength. In fact, VeChain is something we need to keep an eye on, because VeChain has been consistently doing well on each of the runs, right? All the way from 2019, then did well in 2020, 2021. It's consistently doing well, so that's another one. Keep an eye on that one. Mark, how's it going, buddy? He has awoken. Mark, we showed off your dashboard today, in today's live stream. Really, really well. At least I think so. I think I did a good job. What do you guys think? Well, it's not Mark's dashboard, his Mango View page kind of thing. Don't let it get to your head, Mark. Don't let it get to your head. But yeah, Sushi. A little bit of a messy chart over here. Let's look at the 4-day time frame. The 4 days neat. Neater. Neat. Actually neat. We'll be wrapping up the stream soon, by the way, guys. So yeah. Hey, man. Sushi looking good here. We're seeing a little bit of weakness right now, but that's to be expected because a lot of the markets have pulled back, right? This is looking good, man. SMN. Mock's like, I am the dashboard. About to be. I've picked up a thing again finally. Stormlight Archive. I couldn't stand Shalan, man. I had to take a break from her. Crypto Reloaded, how's it going, buddy? How are ya? He says, what's happening? Just saw your stream. Hey, man. Glad you joined us. Anything you missed? You missed a lot, man. I started the stream a bit earlier today, so you're gonna have to rewind. Yeah, man. Fraser learned well on that idea. Buy strength. Fraser and I have been trading together for years. We used to spend so many nights together breaking down charts. It's crazy how far we've both come. We do have different styles now, but there was a time where we had very similar but different mindsets, so to speak. It's hard to explain. But together, right, all of us are going to evolve as a community, right? You guys are seeing me and Fraser. Well, now it's going to be Fraser, you, me, all together, right? Mock, all of us, Randy, AJ, all of us are going to evolve together, man, as a community. It's going to be awesome. We're going to see all of our trading styles morph, and we're going to help each other. Jason, don't do it, man. Don't do it. You can stay up, grab a coffee. Actually, I'll be wrapping up soon too, so. Lindsay, Lindica. Oh, yeah. She says, hey, Sean, can you please talk about trading on spot versus margin trading, especially when still new in the journey? Have you watched the leverage trading module, Lindsay? I prefer trading on leverage. I really recommend you guys get used to trading on futures platforms, because it is a tool. Remember what I suggest you guys do: trade with a small account. Trade with freaking $10 if you have to. Pretend it is freaking 10,000. Trade with $10 and pretend it is 10 million for all I care. But start getting used to the mechanics of trading on those platforms, because you can use it to keep yourself safer. You can use it to defer risk. You can use it to increase your liquidity. It's important. So again, watch the modules, and yeah, you know what, I'm going to put out a separate video on seed targeting some ideas around this. So don't be in a rush, Lindsay, to make money ASAP. If you're in a rush to make money quickly, you're going to end up losing sight of the goal. Remember, journey before destination. Do not lose sight of the forest because you're staring at the trees. You're gonna, for the small gains that you want to get immediately, you're going to miss out on massive gains that this profession can offer you. Have you considered having backup channels on other video platforms like Odyssey or Rumble? Man, I didn't even know these existed, but yes, I do want to have a backup channel. I've never heard of these guys before, so thank you for that. I'll look into them. Could you remind me? Could you send me a PM, Tan, on this, please? Because I'm going to forget, and this is really important. I don't trust YouTube. I do not trust YouTube. Odyssey and Rumble, interesting. Never heard of them. Hey Candiag, he says, hi Sean, I've finally been able to catch it live instead of watching the recorded session. Hey man, good to have you. Raleigh's late to the live stream. How's it going, buddy? Good to have you. Kiran says, yeah, I realize that now. What are you referring to? I'm confused. Mango TikTok. It's not gonna happen. Alright, so what I'll do is, since so many of you guys are joining, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a break. And then I'll just freshen up, and then we'll go for a bit longer, just chill together, hang out. Why not? Since so many of you are here, why not? I'll try my best. How's that? How's that?
So many of them come, want me just play pretend. All your girls, they just wanna have fun, but it's the same old thing that we all see, same old thing that keeps me keen. But I just wanna be alone with you, just wanna be alone with you. Same old thing, the same old thing that keeps me around. If you wanna come around, baby, it's cool. And if you wanna fuck around, baby, I do just wanna be alone with you.
Alrighty, I'm back. So what do we want to talk about, guys? What do we want to talk about? Yeah, Jash, how's it going, man? Good to see you in here, buddy. Alright guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick recap on a few of the important metrics that we've been keeping an eye on. Particularly, we've been keeping an eye on the inverse of the gold Bitcoin pairing. You guys can hear me, right? Go ahead and give me a quick confirmation that everything's a-okay with the audio. Said 3 orders on the dynamic today, all got filled. Out of boy. Mark on the daily dynamic. Lindsay says psychology part of trading. That's actually a good topic. We can go ahead and talk about some psychology today. Do you guys have any specific questions in regards to psychology? So on the 4-day, guys, I want us to keep an eye on this level right over here on the inverted Bitcoin pairing. I've been talking about this since the beginning of this week, right? I said that, hey, this inverted Bitcoin pairing, essentially somewhere around here, right? I said, guys, it's time to start looking at it, and we did have the up thrust all the way to the resistance level, but I'm looking for this resistance level to break. I'm looking for continuation from over here, but we will not get that until we actually clear this level. Remember, this chart over here was our leading signal for the big run towards the upside from around 10,000 all the way to 50,000, right? That's when we started predicting $50,000 Bitcoin. If you guys go back to my videos, all right, all the way in around September, October of last year, Bitcoin was sitting at around 10,000-ish. Can you guys believe that, by the way? Last year, August, like, let's go ahead and look at the price of Bitcoin 365 days from today. Okay, all right, 365 days. Okay, that's 365, and we go down to this price. So 5.98. That's the gold Bitcoin ratio, right? So let's go ahead and actually look at the Bitcoin price. The date was around 18th of August. 18th of August. Actually, let's just do that again. Let's do that again. It'll be more fun. So we're looking at 365 days. Okay, there we go. So Bitcoin was sitting around here, around $12,000. And we are up to 50K this year, and people are still bearish on Bitcoin long term. I mean, makes no sense. In 1 year, we've done this. But anyways, going back to topic. Jeez. This gave us the big signal for the big run towards the upside, right? We had something very, very similar in terms of psychology too in the markets back then. But over here, I want to be a little bit more prudent or skeptical, because I'm not liking the look of this candle over here. We have taken out the low of the previous 4-day candle as well. This is looking a bit toppy. So it is indicative. It is indicative that we may actually come down and test these levels somewhere around here. That being said, though, until we actually start seeing 4-day candle closes on the actual Bitcoin pairing underneath those levels that we discussed at the beginning of the video, right? It'll be too hasty to get scared for the downside move, but we need to mentally get prepared for it nonetheless, because we might be seeing some signs. Remember, we're still trading the trend and we can't front run that move just yet, but we are up against resistance on this pairing as well, on this ratio right over here. Remember, oof, not looking good. I don't say not looking good, but it's not a level that you want to get long at, right? You do not be a buyer over here, at least not a leverage buyer, in my opinion. Does that make sense, guys? Does that make sense? Very, very simple. Mock is already in profits. Dynamic serving you well, eh? There's a storm brewing outside. Mock says makes sense. Thank you for the confirmation. The Stormfather. Love it. Sometimes I wonder whether my audio goes through or not, because the chat is delayed. I really, really wish YouTube fixes that. It's just a bit disorienting as someone presenting content, because I'm like, alright guys, does that make sense? And then I gotta wait 5 minutes for a response. Yeah, we took out the low here too. Oof. This has been neat, eh, guys? Jeez Louise. That's interesting. I've been keeping an eye on the 6 hour so much that I did not notice how neat the 12 hour has been. From the charts and general market outlook, I feel like Bitcoin stealing liquidity away from precious metals markets and delaying its boom. So wait, you're saying that Bitcoin is delaying the boom of the precious metal markets, or why is the boom inevitable? But I do agree with the premise of your statement in that Bitcoin, in my opinion, is stealing liquidity away from the precious metals, especially gold. Because there's an alternative, just by the sheer nature of there being an alternative to gold now, and that being a digital asset that people can hold on to, that is far more auditable, far more portable, and can't be confiscated either. It's just an alternative that more and more people are going to lean toward, especially millennials, especially the younger generations are more inclined to hold something digital than to hold a hard asset that not even sure they can get their hands on in a verifiable manner, right? Like, it's going to be costly to just verify gold. It's really cheap to verify Bitcoin. In fact, the transaction is the verification, right? Think about that. When pertaining to Bitcoin, each time you transact, right, when you send me Bitcoin, the sheer nature of Bitcoin arriving in my wallet is the verification. It is audited for me without me having to do any work. I don't need to go and take it to a goldsmith and say, hey, could you make sure that this piece of brick is legit? And then make sure all these other pieces of bricks that I have stored in my warehouse are legit as well. Right? It's just Bitcoin, though. You could send me as much as you want, and as soon as it enters my wallet, that's it. It's legit. It's audited for me. There's so much power in that. Okay, so Tan, well, people will say that, right? But they're missing what's really important about gold when pertaining to the rest of the market. Gold will do, so people just flat out say that, hey, gold will do well to protect against inflation, right? To protect against inflation. But that's not entirely true. Gold will do well to protect against inflation when the bond market is not protecting against inflation. If the bond market, right, is providing yields that outperforms gold, right, or rather outperforms inflation specifically, then there's no reason for people to buy gold, right? Because the bond market is doing that for them, right? Yields are doing that for them. So it's when the yields aren't actually doing its job, when yields aren't keeping up with inflation, that's when people protect against their money, their savings getting eaten into by buying gold. So gold is that protection against yields not doing its job, okay? Now, the thing about Bitcoin is that it's an emerging store of value in that it has a lot of growth as well to come, as well as being a store of value, right? So with it turning into a store of value, it has a growth aspect to it. So it needs to grow into its valuation of a store of value. Do you understand that? So it needs to grow into its valuation of a store value. That's what makes Bitcoin have that upside potential that is a lot more appetizing for people who want to store their money in an alternative asset that has all the properties of gold. Does that make sense to you guys? If so, let me know. If not, let me know, and I'll try to answer questions. Brandon asks, what's my Instagram? I'm not sure what's my Instagram. I do have an Instagram handle, but I'm not sure what my ID is. I don't use Instagram as much, man. The last time I used Instagram was December of 2020 while I was on vacation on the beach, and maybe in March I used it sporadically. I can agree 100%, says Tan. After many years, once I managed to wrap my head around Bitcoin maxi philosophy, I definitely favor Bitcoin over precious metals now. It is way more convenient and has more upside potential. Yeah. There you go. Hugo asks, what's Cardano's next resistance? We discussed Cardano, but overhead resistance is coming in this zone over here, man. Around $2.40. That's around the region where we decided to take profits before looking to add back to our position at around $8.90, right? So we took profits in this zone over here, and you can see the rest of the market was pretty much in consensus with us. We still haven't taken on these highs over here, which is essentially what we're looking for Cardano to do before looking for the next big upthrust. But at the moment, still looking for the next higher low, hunting for it over here. If we do lose this level, we look for it a bit lower. Murali says, let's go ahead. He says XAU BTC 4-day time frame. Let's go ahead and switch to the 4-day. All right, so okay, so 4-day time frame. He then says about 3 candles ago in the dynamic ribbon when it was playing out, it would have seemed toppy when it was playing out, similar to the one right now. So you're talking about this candle right over here. Okay, so what exactly is your question? I'm guessing your question is, it would have seemed toppy, but why didn't it top out? Or you're trying to like draw parallels to the two? Okay, so quick word of advice: don't try to trade candlesticks in isolation, right? You want to trade candlesticks in holistically, along with everything else that you're seeing, along with the rest of the candles that preceded it, right? Even don't look at only just 2 candles, look at the candles that preceded those 2 candles. Then look at your support and resistance, look at the overall context of the market, look at what's happening with the sentiment of the market, everything together. And just alone though, through candlestick analysis, you could see that, hey, we took out the low over here, right? So we took out the low, but we didn't see any continuation. When you take out the low and you don't see any continuation, but instead you see a candle close above the high of the previous top candle, that's actually bullish. That's actually bullish. So as soon as we took out the low and then took out the high and closed above, that was bullish. Over here, the difference over here is that we don't have enough information just yet, right? Which is why I always say wait for candle close. In 14 hours, a lot can happen. Now we've taken out the low, okay? But we don't have the same setup in that we've taken out the high of the previous candle. In that we've taken out the high, but we haven't closed over the high, right? So now we want to see the close. How does the close play out? If you close somewhere like this, it's going to be a little bit more indecisive in that we need more information. If the next candle comes in and sees continuation, that would be bearish. But if the next candle comes in and sees continuation towards the upside instead, that would be bullish. So that's what you want to see. You want to see what does the market do with the weakness. If the market sees weakness and instead we just go ahead and close bullish, that's actually strength, in that the market actually just took out liquidity towards the downside and it's continuing towards the upside because there's no bearish momentum. The bears aren't confident to see the price through. So this was extremely bullish over here in that we took out the low, and instead not only have we taken the high of the previous candle, but we took out a resistance level, a major resistance level on the dynamic. Make sense? Murali says the mango way. The mango way indeed. Let's go ahead and check out Hex. Hex USDT. Hex BTC. It's a pairing, man. New swap. Oh. Not yet, right? Is this the right ticker? It's not at new all-time highs yet, not on this chart at the very least. XUSDC. Yeah, that's the one I was just looking at, right? Murali says, speaking of mangoes, mango season just got over in India, hopefully in time for Bitcoin season. Can't deny it, man. This is a pretty good looking chart on Cardano. Let's see if we can see the continuation we wanted to see. DCS says that one is not calculated in real time. Ah, I see. That makes sense. Why is Hex not on CMC? Like, why are the exchanges, etc., or rather these listings, not listing it? Is it on CoinGecko? All right, guys, I'll be wrapping up now. Any final questions? Good night, AJ. It was nice having you here. Thank you for joining the stream. I'll see you in the next one. Let's wrap up with some nice Hakuna Matata.
You can't wait on their support. Sometimes you just gotta run and look behind you and say, everybody who wants to run, run, but I can't stop running because you're not running with me. Listen to me, hear me. You can't stop chasing your dream just because somebody in your life won't chase it with you. You can't stop believing in yourself just because somebody in your life won't believe in you. You can't stop chasing the
behind you. Look, kid. Bad things happen, and you can't do anything about it, right? Wrong. When the world turns its back on you, you turn your back on them.
That's not what I was told.
Then maybe you need a new lesson. Repeat after me. Hakuna
was fun, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, do the mango way, do the easy way, do the stress-free way. Ciao.